Cool. So, Srijit, we're good to start. I'm just taking this on YouTube as well, so that.
Sure. Let's start. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So, hey guys, good evening and a warm welcome to this webinar. It's a pleasure hosting this webinar for you, and I formally now welcome you to the Executive Program in Blockchain Technology and Management with upGrad and IIT Ghaziabad. Firstly, congratulations on taking that one step ahead in upskilling yourself and ensuring that you're staying relevant to the with the upcoming technologies that are there. With that, this webinar, as you've already seen in the agenda that has been shared with you, that we'll be taking you through the elements and the experience that we have curated for you, and also at the same time taking up the Q&A. Yeah. With that, without any further ado, let me kind of start off with introducing firstly Srijit Nair, who is working as a project manager at upGrad, and the kind of content that upGrad provides for blockchain technology and all the software development programs at upGrad is handled by Srijit, and he completely owns that piece. With that, we also have Professor Aman from the Duke from the IIT Ghaziabad University, and he would be one of the person who would be taking up and interacting with us for a few lectures that we have on decision making on where to use blockchain and how and what should be the role of a consultant. Just to give you a background about Professor Aman, he's currently working as a co-founder and also. Delivering lectures at IIT Ghaziabad faculty. His mission in life is to solve education problems through emerging technologies, and also Aman has driven technological innovation at Google, and also excel courses on entrepreneurship and innovation from IIT Delhi and Stanford University. With that, myself, I've also got a privilege to interact with all of you during my before we started off the program, and honestly, it was really great connecting with every one of you, knowing the kind of motive that you guys have on taking up this program and the certain expectations that you have. So my name is Sankalp, and I would be the student mentor for this program. Just to give you a background, I work in the experience aspects of the program at upGrad. And I would also be the single point of contact to you from upGrad. On that note, I would also be involved in the delivery side of the elements that are there in this program, and ensuring that you're updated with every single session or any other thing that is planned for the program. I will ensure that you guys are updated with it. One, secondly, also helping you kind of plan your studies and all the other things. So I'll get into the more detail as we cover a few things as we go ahead. Yeah. Now, before we go ahead, we have a message from our co-founder.
Sankalp, I think your this one is. Yeah, now it's okay. Now it's fine.
It's loading, right?
Yeah, it's loading.
Okay.
Hello everyone, I am Mayank Kumar, the co-founder and managing director of upGrad, and I'm delighted to welcome you to our program. You are now a part of upGrad's global community of working professionals who see the immense value of lifelong learning. Let me start off by telling you that the next few months will be rigorous, but I assure you that you will learn many new things. Our interactive learning platform will keep you engaged and make you realize the transformational power of online learning. The best in industry and academia have carefully crafted this program to help you build your domain knowledge and succeed professionally. While this program is a stepping stone to your future career success, we must emphasize that it will require a minimum of 12 to 15 hours of your time every week. And to ensure you that you receive personalized support throughout this journey, we have assigned a student mentor to you. Your student mentor will ensure that you keep up with your coursework and push to achieve experience. We encourage you to network, collaborate, and learn from your peer group, your own batchmates. That is why we have designed an online discussion forum to help answer your queries, specifically the academic queries. We encourage you to participate in these forums by posting your queries and even helping your batchmates with possible solutions and answers. We also have teaching assistants to monitor these forums and help with answers wherever necessary. Lastly, this program will not only give you access to cutting edge content, but also up careers, but also initiated new projects, mentored people with their knowledge, and even gained variety of different outcomes from the program. I can assure each and every one of you that you are here because you deserve to be. And by making the choice to enhance your skill sets, you have already made a conscious choice that sets you apart from others. That's it from me. It is now time for you to find out more about the program curriculum. All the best and happy learning.
Awesome. So now that you've heard from Mayank about the various elements that are there in this program that will kind of help you, the support that we could require, that you would be that we will be giving you. This is something, the agenda that we have set that we have set for this webinar, and just like Mayank spoke, we will be getting into much more detail and telling you about how we can actually utilize the elements that we have actually curated for you. Yeah. With that, we'll start off with cohort statistics. Okay. So just to give you a number, we have around 25 people who have enrolled for this program. The demographics that we have is from Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Pune. One learner we have is an international learner who's from Mauritius and is working with Standard Chartered. Now the industries that we have, mostly we have like 70-80% of the people are from the IT industry. Sorry for the correction out there, that's BFSI. The other industry that we have is healthcare, and the other one we have is telecommunication. Domain expertise, people from software development, project management, analytics. There are people who are working on market research as well. So that's the kind of mix that we have for this batch. Ensure that you kind of network with them. Also, one important thing, the learning platform that we have, with the logo, with your personalized profile that we have given you. Update your profile over there with your photo, your background, your city, so that you guys can actually connect over there. And as you also get into the program, you also have work on certain projects. Peer-to-peer learning is something that we encourage for our learners, and I would definitely would want you to kind of make at most use of the platform, and also at the same time ensure that you talk more of it. Yeah. With that, we move on to the other element that we have, which is going to be okay. Just before we get into that, we have Professor Aman, like I said, from IIT Ghaziabad faculty, and he would be kind of speaking about his experience and how we can actually build ourselves as consultants. Yeah, over to you, Aman.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much, Sankalpa, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining for this program. This is the third cohort, which I, in collaboration with upGrad, had started to actually provide different. And
Just a minute.
one of
Aman,
the
sorry to cut you
early
here.
adopters.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hey, your voice is breaking, Aman.
Is it clear now? Okay, just give me wait a.
Okay, in the meantime, Aman fixes that. We'll just quickly move on to the other elements that we have. And Aman will just get back to you on that part. But in the meantime, if you could just check onto the internet connection. So in the meantime, guys, we'll just move on to the program structure that we have. And to cover the same, we have Srijit Nair from the content team. So over to you, Srijit.
I'm audible. Sankalp, everything is. Am I audible now? Sankalp, am I audible?
Hey guys, yeah, you are audible. Sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah.
Guys, is Srijit audible? If you could just reply with a yes or a no in the chat box. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Great.
All right. Cool. Okay. Again, I think Sankalp introduced me and Aman, but I would like to welcome all of you from my end as well. Welcome, guys, and it's genuinely a pleasure to see the third cohort in BTM, right? And it's kind of a if I have to say that, it's kind of a proud moment for me right now, because when this program was launched in September last year, right, the blockchain technology management as such was like an experimental model for us, because if you check the kind of programs that are available in this domain under blockchain across different service providers and different edtech companies, you will not find something that caters to this kind of an audience, a program that caters to the kind of audience that we have in this particular cohort, right? Most of the programs, or say, if I have to say, 99% of the programs, or almost every single program out there, actually caters to the technical side of the business, right? Wherein they teach on how to develop a blockchain solution from a technical perspective. But in this case, there are no other companies that actually, or there are no edtech providers that actually teach anyone to become a blockchain consultant, right? And this is a gap that we had identified when we discussed with a lot of our previous learners, and when we did our exhaustive market research. We identified that there is a gap in the industry wherein people do have the technical knowledge, but from a consultant's perspective, they lack certain knowledge and on when to decide to take up a blockchain solution or not. And we thought that this is a very it's an opportunity that we should take, and in collaboration with multiple subject matter experts and industry leaders and universities like IMT, we came up with an exhaustive curriculum that could actually bridge this gap. And that is how this whole course of blockchain technology management came about. When it started, as I mentioned, it was an experimental thing. But the fact that we are now in the third cohort in just 7-8 months stands testament to the fact that whatever efforts we have put in making this curriculum has actually has gone well with the participants, with our previous learners, and we have received good ratings and good reviews on whatever we are teaching. It seems to have been beneficial, and it really makes me proud to say that I'm part of such a different program, right? So in this case, let us move to the program structure, right? So if you can, Sankar, can you? Yeah, all right. So in case of the program structure, if I have to say, the entire program is divided into 2 courses. Course 1 actually will teach you every basic stuff about blockchain, right? And how to deal with blockchain in the pre-sales phase in your role as a consultant. Course 2 actually teaches you, once you have decided that blockchain is the solution, how to deliver that solution and how to test whether that solution is effective or not. So these are the broad categories of the 2 courses that we have. And then it is followed by a capstone project, which teaches, or rather which challenges you on all the aspects that you have learned during the 6 months of this course. Now, if I have to break down course 1 and course 2, let me tell you some of the topics in course 1 that are really important and something that you will learn in the coming weeks, right? So in course 1, we start off from the very, very basics, where you will have a high level, you will gain a high level understanding of blockchain and understand why it is the need of the hour in the existing infrastructure frameworks. Some of the topics that we cover will include what is blockchain, what is the difference between blockchain and traditional architecture, what are legacy database systems and the role of intermediaries, and the concept of blocks, data, and hashes. Right? Then we'll move on to introducing to you what blockchain technology management actually is. In this particular module, you will look at why every blockchain architecture needs a domain expert. And when I mention a domain expert, this is where you will step into the picture. We are teaching you to be a blockchain domain expert. Okay, so we'll tell you why every blockchain architecture needs a domain expert. And then we'll also learn about what is the significance of this pre-sales part in the blockchain domain, right? After that, we will learn about applications of blockchain network and blockchain architectures, and feasibility assessment for different blockchain networks, right? Wherein you will have extensive insights on key requirements for a pre-sales associate in the blockchain domain. We will teach you resource control and optimization protocols, while you will also learn practical comparative exposure to different platforms that we have. So some of the platforms that we will touch upon will be Hyperledger Fabric, Hyperledger Sawtooth, Ethereum, R3 Cora, and so on and so forth. Right. So these things would primarily constitute the pre-sales phase that I'm talking about. Now, once you have identified that, in this particular use case, a blockchain solution is viable, the next part of the course then deals with how are you going to deliver that particular solution, right? So in the second part of the course, we teach you about what what is a BRD, a business requirement document, right? So after successful acquisition and evaluation of client requirements in your role as a consultant, you will learn to develop and design the BRD and identify key stakeholders to ensure smooth implementation in the post-sales phase of the project, right? And some of the things that will include will be all project management activities that are required to implement that particular blockchain solution. Apart from that, we will also touch upon briefly on the blockchain testing and quality assurance part. So in this case, you will understand the testing needs of DLT solutions. You will learn about how to design test cases based on the technicalities in blockchain, about testing strategies for testing performance, load testing, stress test, and all of that in a distributed peer-to-peer network system. So these are the conceptual things that you will learn in the second course of this program. Now, when I have to talk about projects, there are 3 projects in this. So if I have to say 2 projects in course 1 and 1 in course 2. The first project will be kind of the starting phase for you as a consultant, and it's perhaps one of the most exciting projects that we have designed. It is where we will give you a problem statement, and based on that problem statement, you will have to come up with a blockchain solution. And this blockchain solution, this strategy of adopting a blockchain solution, you will present to an external panel, right? Wherein this is how consultants also work, right? So when consultants have to present their strategy, they present their strategy to an external panel, and then the company will decide whether that strategy is something worth investing in or not. So that is exactly what you will do. We will simulate that kind of an environment where there will be an external panel of judges, and you will be presenting your strategy, blockchain solution strategy, to this external panel. In the second course, in the second project that we have, you will learn about you will learn about evaluating the business model, and you will learn the process of developing and optimizing enterprise specific blockchain business plan, right? You will evaluate efficiency, you will learn the business logic and risk factors to successfully implement DLT and its business applications. In the course 2.1, the project that we have, it will primarily deal with how to develop a business requirement document for that particular blockchain solution. Then the final aspect that we will have is the capstone project that we have, right? And that is one of the biggest, in terms of the duration, amongst all of these, it is one of the biggest modules that we have. It will last for 3 weeks. And in this capstone, we are going to expect you to develop a white paper on a particular blockchain solution, the details of which will be made clear to you as and when the course progresses. All right. So this is the overall view of the course structure that we have, the kind of topics that we are teaching. All right. Okay, Sankalp, the next slide. We can move to the next slide. Yeah. So Sankalp, can you open the calendar? Just show them the calendar. Yeah.
You can see it, right?
Yeah, Sankalp, we've shared this calendar with the students, right?
Sankalp? Yes, I've shared it.
Yeah, all right, okay. All right. So this is the calendar that Sankalp must have shared with you, right? So we will follow this calendar as closely as possible, right? And these will be the live session dates that you'll be having. So as you would know, every week we'll have 2 classes on Saturday and Sunday for 3 hours each, and it will be a live session conducted in the same way that this current webinar is being conducted. It will be on Zoom, and then you will log on to the platform and you will attend the live session. Now, it is very imperative that you try and attend as many live sessions as possible, right? Because the kind of experience that we want to deliver in a live session, you will not get from just seeing the recording of that session. Otherwise, we would have just recorded those modules and just shared it with you, right? But that does not work. In a topic like blockchain technology management, a lot of the learnings that you will have will be from active discussions with the subject matter expert. And that is why we need this live setting, this live environment wherein we will teach you and you will ask us questions. And that actually stimulates our thought process and we think in a better way, right? But when you consume recorded modules, that tends to be kind of out of the picture, right? So please, it's a humble request, try and attend as many live sessions as possible. And it's kind of, we have also made it kind of mandatory that you have to attend most of the live sessions, right? The detailed calendar has already been shared with you. For us, timelines are extremely important, right? So when we give you a timeline for a module completion, please ensure that you finish it within that timeline. And we understand that different people have different styles of working, and all of us are working professionals. But based on our overall experience of conducting these classes with different cohorts, we have understood that a time commitment of around 10 to 12 hours every week should help you. Okay, just by giving 10 to 12 hours every week on this course, you should be able to manage almost every single deadline that we give you. Cases wherein you need more help, we are obviously there to hold your hand and help you and support you in whatever way is required. But please do not miss those deadlines. And if you think things are not going your way, please let us know. Please let Sankalp know. Those things can be escalated and we'll definitely help you with those solutions, right? It is just that because for most of us, when we are a working professional, this is kind of the first time that we are investing in a course that is going to last over 6 months, right? So people tend to kind of underestimate the effort that would be required in completing a course. So please don't do that. Be very wary of the fact that you're going to work simultaneously and study simultaneously. So it's going to take a toll on you. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but with some commitment and hard work, we can definitely pull it off, right? Sankalp, the next slide, please. Okay, so let's look at the grading. Okay, so from a grading perspective, it's I would tell you that the program is kind of rigorous, and there are several modes of grading to evaluate your knowledge in the program. So primary would be your performance in the graded questions. Those are MCQs. So every time you log on to a module on the platform, you will get to see details of the graded questions. Okay, and the graded questions are placed at a modular level at the end of each module. So you'll get to know that. And then there are the assignments and the case studies that I spoke about, the projects that I spoke about, wherein you will have to have a hands-on approach on developing different solutions. So there are 3 projects. So those projects have the maximum weightage. So 30% weightage is for your performance on those MCQs. And then there is a 60% weightage on your performance in the projects. And then there is also a 10% weightage wherein we have given it for class participation and peer-to-peer learning, right? So which is why we said that it's very important that you attend those classes, because they also would some way count towards your performance in the overall course. Next slide, Sankalp. Yeah, so to be eligible for the certificate, right? So post completion of this program, you will obviously get a certificate from upGrad and IIT. There are 2 things that you need to look into. One is you have to successfully complete all the modules. And when I say all the modules, you cannot skip anything, right? So all the modules that you have on the platform, you have to mandatorily complete all the modules and the graded assignments. So as I mentioned, all modules come with graded assignments, and the number of graded assignments, they differ depending on the length of the module. Some of the modules are short, so they would have fewer graded assignments compared to the other modules, which are kind of longer, right? So 2 things you have to complete: module completion, you have to go through all the modules plus finish all the grading assignments. Second, in terms of a score, you definitely have to score more than 40%, right? Otherwise, it's just scoring 25-30% is just not good enough for us. You have to score more than 40%, and that will ensure that you are on your way on towards getting that certificate, right? And we have a very strict anti-plagiarism policy. I cannot stress enough on this aspect. Time and again we have seen that students, when things don't seem to be going their way, they try to just resort to some kind of malpractice, plagiarism of which is the most common one, wherein when we ask you for a solution, you just copy paste things. You do a web scraping, you take solutions, you look into the web, copy, paste into your solution and submit it. That is not going to work, because all solutions, we have specific tools internally that we use to check all the solutions that you have submitted. And if we find even a hint of plagiarism, definitely there will be a penalty associated with it. So let's not go there. Let's be very cognizant of the fact that we do not tolerate plagiarism in any form, and let's work. So I understand things might be difficult, but it's better to get those doubts clarified and seek help or support rather than resorting to such malpractices. So please be sure that there is no we are not going to be lax with with plagiarism, right? So I think, Sankar, that covers my part.
Yeah.
I think
So
you take over,
So
and
before
perhaps Aman can also now
exactly,
speak about.
So what I'm doing is before we actually get on to the other things, and thank you so much, Shreet, for covering the structure and the policies of the program.
Right.
Now here we have Professor Aman, who will kind of tell you about how do you actually use the knowledge from the program in building your professional in your professional career, and also wearing the hat of a consultant out here. Yeah. So that over to you, Professor Aman.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, this is loud and clear. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
I think there is a background noise. Srijit, can you go on mute? I think he has. Perfect. Thank you. Apologies. I think a lot of people sitting at home are utilizing the bandwidth, so there is a lag. So my background is I'm an engineer. Happened to study in the field of information technology, and started my entrepreneur journey little early in my life when I was 19. Built 3 to 4 companies. Out of it, only two are running and successful at this point in time. I happened to work with Google for quite some time and was leading the innovation in the hotel ads project. So my introduction with blockchain has happened pretty early. I think in the month of February 2011, when one of my clients happened to pay me in bitcoins. So I started learning about it, started looking at what are the different economic factors which goes on the working of money and how the money evolution has happened. So I'm one of the early adopters of cryptocurrency in India. I have managed a cryptocurrency fund as well, and started my journey towards enterprise applications in 2016, where I happened to start this organization where we have built blockchain applications for government and enterprise. So it's pleasure to have you on this cohort, and I have been associated in the previous two cohorts as well. And it would be definitely a learning from both the sides, because you will be learning the subject matter expertise of this technology, and we would be learning from your experience. And we will amalgamate that and try and come up with various use cases on the blockchain. So just to share 2 cents on blockchain technology, like if you have read it online, it has a potential to change the way businesses are conducted, and has been doing it from traditional years. So we will look at, like Srijit has mentioned, we will look at what has been the challenges with databases and why we have looked at distributed databases, and what distributed ledger technology, which is blockchain, is transforming the foundations of economic and social systems. So despite its far-reaching potential, there always remains an uncertainty around the blockchain technology, and I'm sure you have been reading around in different media as well, and you have been reading around in different platforms. So blockchain technology there has been an uncertainty around its breadth of its application and economic catalyst. So this program, which is specifically designed for you to be an active change agent, to take this emerging technology, which is blockchain, and disrupt various other industries where you come from. So one of the questions which was on the job, of course, I'll take it in the Q&A section. So what will happen with the jobs is we are equipping you and enabling you with this emerging technology. You can become the job creator, and you can become the change agent within your industry as well. So like blockchain was initially, if you have been reading about it, blockchain was initially reserved for financial industry, where the first application of blockchain, which is Bitcoin, has been out in the market. So now in this, we would look at it how blockchain can actually disrupt various other sectors, from healthcare to IT to banking and finance to even some of the applications within the government as well. So the outline of the program has already been explained by Srijit. So we will start with why blockchain has actually come into the market and what has been the challenges with databases, and then we will shift the gears towards the components of blockchain technology, where we will look at the different layers, the different consensus, the different protocols, and then we will move towards the platforms. What are the existing platforms? And then we will equip you towards making the use case in the industries, and how you can become a change agent as a perspective of consultant and drive the change within the organization. So the course has been designed in such a manner that there is a theoretical understanding, and there is a fundamental practical aspect of it. Of course, this will go from the perspective of the capstone projects and a lot of assignments which you would be doing. And like Srijit has mentioned, keep up to date with the sessions, participate, and treat this as a part of an interactive sessions, and learn as you go further. And we welcome you once again to this blockchain cohort, and we would explore the different blockchain opportunities and the impact of decentralization and disruption on various other industries. So that's all from my side, and any questions you would have, happy to take it in Q&A section. At present, like Sankalp has mentioned, I'm running this edtech company, which is focused on this emerging technology, driving the change for the students and how they can bridge the gap of learning and getting the job opportunities. So that's from my side, and over to you, Sankalp.
Thank you so much for that, on sharing your experience and the brief what students can actually, how they need to go about with this blockchain technology. With that, guys, now comes one of the most important part of the program, which is again the learning experience out here. Like also Mayank also pointed out a few elements that we have, kind of curated in terms of how do we actually go about the learning experience. Let me just also tell you that everything that at upGrad, when we design a certain thing, it's always to do with the learning experience that our learners take from here. So further, not even compromising on any single element, let me also kind of tell you what are the things that we have actually in place for to leverage onto this learning experience, while and also to enhance the experience for you. Firstly, to begin with, we have a discussion forum. So the learners who have also started off with the welcome to the program module on the portal, on the platform, in fact, which is learn.upgrad, they must have come across this tab, which is the discussion tab. Now, on the discussion tab, we have all the question and answers that are being posted by you guys. And this question and answers that have been posted will also account for the 10% of the class participation that we have for as a part of the grading policy, which is if you post any question on the discussion forum, it accounts for a certain points, and also the answer that accounts for a certain points. Now here we also have a TA, which is a teaching assistant team that we have, who monitors all the questions that have been posted, and also at the same time the answers that have been posted on the discussion forum. Which means once the question has been verified by the TA, which is a teaching assistant team that we have, you will see an official tick mark next to it, like a official Twitter handle tick mark that we have, or an Instagram handle tick mark that we have. You will see it on the right hand side of the question. Now, this is to kind of tell you that so that the answers of the questions that have been put up by the learners are not misleading, and also at the same time, there's some like I said at the start of the webinar, that we encourage peer-to-peer learning, and this is something that we would want to do. Yeah. Now coming to one of the the live sessions bit that we spoke, that Srijit has also covered, we would be having having these live sessions every Saturdays and Sundays. On my call, on the calls also that I've had with you guys, I've mentioned that there would be live sessions every Saturday and Sunday, which means and the predefined time for this would be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I've already shared an invite for you for this weekend class, which is for this Saturday. For Sunday, I would be sharing it with you in by once we are done with the Saturday class, so that you don't mix it up. But just to tell you on the live session, this is an opportunity for you to connect with the industry experts, get your doubts resolved real time, understand the knowledge that they are sharing, and the kind of experience that they are sharing with you, so that it helps you in your journey once you start wearing the hat of a consultant, or you're implementing this technology at your present organization. Yeah, these sessions, like it's mentioned out here, we would be letting you know well in advance. But by I mean, every Saturday and Sunday, by default, there would be classes happening. As it says, the first course would go for 13 weeks, the second one would go for 5 weeks, the course 3 would go for another 3 weeks, which is the capstone project. There would be some there won't be any live sessions during the capstone project, but there would be certain doubt resolution sessions that we would be planning out there. Yeah, further schedule would be shared with you, but to begin with, we have a first live session coming in this weekend, and from here we completely go live, and the recordings of the live sessions, if you have not attended the session, would be also shared with you. Now here, not attending the session is not an option, let me tell you that. The class participation, which is 10% that we have mentioned in the grading policies, which is also the one of how the grade scoring is done. It accounts for that. It accounts for the 10% weightage that the class participation hold, which means you'll at least have to have 80% of the attendance for the live session. If knowing that you guys, some of the people are from the banking sector, and second and fourth Saturday being working for them, it would be one of the things. Just 1 minute, just 1 minute. I'm sorry, that's my dog actually. So yeah, live sessions. Yeah, so the recordings would be shared with you guys, and like I was saying that there's no option of you not attending. But if you have you're working, which is second and fourth Saturday for the banking professionals that we have, just drop me an email stating that this would be not be possible, so that we can take it into consideration. For other people, guys, don't miss these sessions. It's an opportunity for you to connect live with all the industry experts that we have, and there's something, the time that you have invested and the money that you have invested in upskilling yourself. Don't miss out on these things. Yeah, now as we go forward, there would also be personalized feedback on courses, projects, and other assignments that would be we would be sharing with you, and the feedback would be very detailed. If you need any further clarity, like I said, every single thing is pointed out to the experience that we are actually giving you. So ensure that if you have any doubts, or if you need any clarification, okay, on the assignments that you have worked, why was this being not given this much marks, and how can I actually better these things, feel free to reach out to me. Or we have something called as a reevaluation thing that we have on the scoring platform itself. So once the scores have been posted, you will see it on the learning platform. So the learning platform is also one of the experience that we have designed for you, ensuring all the information pertaining to this program is there at one specific platform. Yeah, so that's on the feedback. There would be some presentation sessions also that we would be having, wherein there would be again SMEs or industry experts who would be it will be like a 15 minutes of a quick presentation, 10 minutes of presentation, 5 minutes of Q&A, and you would be given feedback live there out there. Cool. With that, my role as a student mentor, like I already said, that I would be the single point of contact to you from upGrad. Firstly, if you need any help with respect to time management, okay, that's one of the areas that working professionals actually are looking in for some help. I can certainly help you, with that part. I'll also tell you about other learners. So you must have also read about upGrad, crossing 20,000 learners that we have already had till now. And these 20,000 learners, let me tell you, everybody has had a different story. Everybody has had their ups and downs in their careers, the peak times, the promotions times, the other thing would also be the projects that they are handling. I mean, everybody is, kind of worked up with few things, but then there's always a way. Okay. And if you need any help on that part, I'm always there to, kind of guide you. I would also be getting in touch with you once the program commences, which means to check on about how is your learning curve going on, if there's any support that you require, or is there any other assistance that you require. So I would certainly be there throughout your journey. But just one thing that I would also want to tell you, any non-academic queries that you have, I would certainly be the single point of contact. But any academic queries that you have, please, I would request to please post them in the discussion forum of your program, yeah, which is our program, and you will have the TA uh, or your peers answering that question. Now, moving on to the career services from upGrad. Yep. Now, moving on to the career services from upGrad. Now, one thing, this when we get into consultant, there are let me also make it very clear, there is only career assistance that upGrad provides. Okay, here there is nothing on the sorts of, wherein we'll be sharing certain JDs with you, but the assistance, when we talk about the understanding the blockchain technology through one-on-one personalized calls with industry experts, it's something that, we can certainly do. Get you in touch with one of our industry experts, so that, it kind of tells you about what should be the your path. How do you go about your career? We have something called as a resume building process that we have with one of the companies, which is Hiration, which is a third party company that we have tied up with, and they kind of give you a detailed feedback again on how do you actually need to make your resume according to the industry standard. With that, the LinkedIn profile building out here, the LinkedIn profile building, there will be a module that will be released for you. There will be certain elements that would be told to you about how do you actually need to make it in terms of starting from A to Z, about how does the LinkedIn profile needs to be look like. That's about the careers assistance that we have. Apart from that, even you can kind of start building on your personal brand, when we call it, because that's one of the things that has been pretty much hyped up in the market, because how do you actually present yourself in front of the recruiter? Start now that you've taken something on the blockchain technology, which is the future technology, start reading a lot on that, start blogging about it, start contributing to channels like Quora, so that you always are in touch with these things, and you're always upskilling yourself, and also ensuring that you're connected with all the relevant things that are happening with respect to the blockchain technology. Yeah. Now, that's one. Now your peers are there within the batch. Go for networking events that are there. As a part of upGrad, you would also be called for one of the base camps that we organize. So these happen at certain cities. Let me also make it a little clear for you guys over here, so that there's enough transparency. One, we have a base camp happening at different cities, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi. Okay, so if there is a certain topic, okay, on emerging technologies, or cloud-based technologies that we are doing, or blockchain technology, then there would be invites that would be shared with you. Okay, any relevant topic that would hold relevant for you guys would be invited as a part of a brand. Okay. Second thing, if it's not happening in your city, it doesn't mean that you are not invited for it happening in other city. You can certainly travel, but the travel cost and the hotel cost would not be paid by a brand, but you would certainly be welcomed at the venue, and also made a part of the event that's happening. Yeah. Now, apart from that, I mean, the resume that I've already spoken to you about, it's this journey is going to be kind of this experience, in fact, with a brand, and learning the blockchain technology is something that's going to be very useful for you. Ensure that you put in that 12 to 15 hours, so 10 to 12 hours is something, but I would say go on 12 to 15 hours. Okay, ensure that put in as much time as you can. make the most of it on your weekends. On the weekends, plan your studies, which is Monday, Tuesday. At least give 2 hours. There would be sessions happening on the weekend wherein you'll be spending at least 3 hours. Okay, which is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that's our time if you can start working on the on the practice questions that we have. So every Monday we would be uploading the recording of the session on the platform. Post the recording, you will have some practice questions that you'll have to work on to further enhance your knowledge and the skills or the skills that this program brings in, so that you're pretty much fresh with the kind of knowledge that is being shared on the live session. That's pretty much about it. Now we come into how to excel in the program. I've already covered a few parts, which is spending 12 to 15 hours in a week, seeking help with your batchmates, kind of interacting with them on weekly basis, or like kind of connecting with certain groups that you have. If you have somebody from Bangalore, just connect with them, understand how is the technology being used. One of the things, like I also said at the start of the program, it was really good to know your motive and your expectation from the program. Let me also tell you that most of the learners are looking at from upscaling point of view. There are a few people who want to implement this technology at their workplace, being in the banking sector. So that's one thing which is good, that one thing that you guys all have in common, and just leverage onto this, because it will take you a long way. Yeah, with that, that's pretty much about it, about what we wanted to cover in today's welcome webinar that we have. Now we'll quickly move on to the Q&A section and see to it about if there are any questions that we have. With that, I had a few questions also coming in from certain learners. Rishikesh, I would certainly be taking up your query and telling you about how do we actually go about it. The other thing, I would also give you a quick walkthrough of the learn.upgrad platform, so that you guys are not missing out on anything. There was an app, APK file download as well for learn.upgrad that I shared with you. I guess a few people have missed out on that. I would also be sharing that with you guys after this webinar, and with the recorded link of the session. Yeah. With that, now we open it up for Q&A section, and guys, let's see if we have any questions here. Okay, we have a few questions, and I would be kind of facilitating these questions and giving it up to you, Srijit and Aman. So hope you guys are ready for it. Yeah. Cool. So first question that we have is from Aslam. What are the job opportunity program brings in? So Aman, if you could answer, or Srijit, any one of you want to take
Yeah. Hi Aslam. I think this one Sankalp has already kind of answered your question. I think you had posed that question before we actually came to the services part.
Yeah.
So it should be pretty much clear. The difference is that there are no actively, we won't be actively JDs for you and connecting you with job job providers. The reason being, the kind of role that we are looking here is it's not something that is readily available in the market, right? We are trying to make you a blockchain consultant. So now it's very difficult to actually find jobs directly catering to this. That being said, what we'll do is we'll obviously help you build your resume. We'll conduct webinars, and one of the best things that we'll do is that we will personally connect you with our pool of industry experts who are currently working as blockchain consultants. So they should give you a fair idea of they should be able to help you in a fair way to how to navigate your career as a blockchain consultant. So that is what we'll be doing, and that is the idea behind this. So I think Aslam, I would have answered that question. Now I think the next
So
question
just to add,
Yeah.
sorry, just to add on the question for the career service. Of course, there are people who are working in the blockchain domain, and possibly from the subject matter experts and the trainers connection, you would be able to get some of the opportunities related to your job. So just to quick overview on the program once again. See, this program is to provide your comprehensive understanding and its potential impact on different industries. So you would have an insight how the blockchain works in the business context. Like I have also mentioned, you can be a job creator. You can, after this program, you would be able to disrupt various other industries. And upgrad definitely has different resources from there. They can be of a help, and also trainers open up their connections for you to get an opportunity, either in terms of freelance project, or you can work with the trainers organization to become an extended hand. So that's as a part of the career service, and there would be a lot of an integrated sections with respect to the opportunities.
Awesome. Thank you so much. With that, we'll quickly move on to the next question, which is Neha Singh's question. Would you be sharing
Yeah.
for upcoming classes? So
for the upcoming classes, right? Okay. So Neha, very good question. So in this case, we have actually not, to be honest, we have not made any pre-read material, primarily because we are starting from the very basics, right? We will go right from how blockchain was devised, what was the concept behind this whole blockchain revolution that has happened, and we'll teach you right from the basics. So currently we do not have any pre-read material on the platform, but as and when we obviously try to keep ourselves updated on how the industry is evolving, what are the kind of changes, what things are being developed, and all of that, and those kind of links will be definitely shared with you as and when the course progresses. So you don't have to worry about not being aware of anything prior to the course, because we are going to hold your hand right from the start, and then we are going to lead you to a stage where you know everything about blockchain.
Okay, could you just repeat that? When you just lagged in
Hello?
between.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could just repeat that again.
Yeah. Okay. So, right. So, Neha, just to answer your question.
Okay, you can switch off your camera, Srijit.
We currently do not have any pre-read material on the.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me? All right. So, sorry for that interruption. So, what I was saying is that Neha, currently we do not have any pre-read material on the platform as of now. The reason being, we are going from the basics, so you don't have to worry about not knowing something before you come for the live class. Right from the first class, we're going to hold your hand and support you and teach you what concepts you need to know in this particular domain, and then we'll help you reach a stage where you know everything about blockchain. So right now there is no pre-read material. That being said, during the course of the program, we obviously keep sharing different links of articles that we read upon, and then Sankalp is going to share that with you as and when the course progresses. So yeah, that will be there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Srijit, for that.
Yeah.
With that, the next question that we have is students' voice and video be available during the live session, or only the teacher would be speaking? So here, Arun, to answer this question, we not really not allowing would not be the right thing to tell you, but we do allow students to speak, but then only if the learners is actually willing to interact with the SME. Okay, which means so when we join in the session, there would only be the SMEs who would be speaking. But if you tell me to unmute yourself, unmute you, I can certainly do that during the session. So you just need to put it up in the chat box or tell the SME if you could just unmute me, and that would be taken care of. Yeah, it should not be a problem. Cool. So that answers Arun's question. Is there any guidance or session part of the program planned for building personal brand? So Srijit, I'll just answer this question. If you want to just add add or Professor Aman. So any guidance when we talk about, we can connect you with relevant people that we have, which is the industry expert or the SMEs that we have, or the 1:1 industry mentorship that we spoke about, or the guidance that you would require. So that is something that you can do, so that they kind of help you in building your personal brand. Anything that you would want to add, Srijit, out here?
No, Sankalp, I think you have pretty much answered the question. So, like, if you want, I can just say that who's asked this question? I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, exactly. If you could just name, guys, whenever you come in for the live session as well, don't please put in your name in the Zoom chat so that we kind of know who's the person that we are talking, and it becomes more of a human connect out there. Yeah.
So just to continue with my response, it's just that we are going to connect all of you learners with our industry experts who have been in this domain for a long time, right? So, for example, Aman is also there. So if you have any queries about how to build your brand in this particular domain, Aman at any point in time is there to support you. We also have other experts who are going to teach you in this program. So we can definitely connect you with all of our industry experts and then build your network during the course of the program. So that's not a problem. Yeah, we'll do
Awesome.
that.
Thank you. With that, we move on to Anish's question. Aman, if you would want to take this up. Hi, do we need to have programming knowledge or expertise?
So in this program, we are not going in depth from the perspective of the coding, because this is more towards how blockchain technology can be looked from the economic lens, and how you can actually utilize from a consultant point of view. So it's good to have, but it's not must to have a technological understanding. However, so we are not really going towards the application building, but we are looking at the application use case from a consultant, or from business point of view, from a non-tech, from a strategy point of view. So you would be able to lead the team of a technology, but not necessarily you need to have the technological understanding. The basic understanding of the platforms would be plus, if there would be any questions which we go towards generally towards the use case, but it's not really a mandate towards having the experience for technology.
Thank you. Anything that you would want to add here, Srijit? Or we can continue.
We can continue, Sankalp. I think
Awesome.
someone
Thank you.
has pretty much answered everything.
Great. Thank you. So with that, we move on to Lakshmi's question, which is this second or third batch of this course? Was the course completed in 5 months? So this is the third batch that we have. The first batch, they have just completed the assignment, which is the capstone project, and this was completed in 5 months. The second batch that we have is still ongoing, and they will take some time because we started them in the month of December end. So yeah, in the month of Jan we started off that batch. So we this would be and it definitely ends at 5 months. Cool. So also just go through the calendar that has been shared with you with the dates mentioned out there. Yeah. Okay. Then okay. Sorry, I meant the username or password. Didn't understand this, Nikhil. If you could just type in back again. Till then, we'll just move on to Alvin's question. Will we be informed about the applications of blockchain technology across various industries? Anyone of you would want to take this up?
Yeah, so I'll answer this. Of course, we will be, Alvin. One of the primary modes of our teaching is taking different use cases across industries like the energy sector, the finance sector, healthcare, and obviously we won't be, it's not possible for us to cover every single industry out there, but the way we teach is we take examples of different industries and we obviously describe how blockchain works as a use case there, right? So definitely we will be covering a lot of industries there. Aman, you want to add something here? If
Yes. So, see, blockchain technology, if you look at it, it has both from the business and an application point of view. And in this course, we explore the parallels with the technology. So we covers various other use cases from pharmaceutical, from identity, from the core sectors like shipping. We also look at energy, and we have other use cases which are being discussed during the session. So like Srijit has just mentioned, there are about 18 plus industries. It's difficult to look at it. However, we ensure you after this session or after this cohort, you would be able to look at it, where to apply blockchain, how to apply, and what are the nitty-gritties to look at from the application point of view. And you would be able to come up with a constructive strategy plan for the application use case. And when you are having a conversation with any of the organization or any of the industry, you would be able to provide them a walkthrough that this is how the blockchain application would work in your case. So you would get equipped with the technology from various other frontiers, and you would be able to transform the enterprise business model. And we cover the specific and we cover the core industries, and we also sort of give you a perspective for the other industry use cases as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that answer, and hope that answers your question. With that, we move on to Kunal's question, which is, would it be possible for you to connect us with the people who have already completed this program? Certainly, Kunal, is there anything specific that you're looking out for? Let's connect offline and let's get on a call tomorrow if possible. Yeah. Cool. So next question. So that's Venkata, by the way, with the number of the meeting ID that we have. So hey Venkata, hi. So his question is, how can we cope with transforming career from a legacy application developer to blockchain consultant? Any one of you would want to take this up?
Srijit, would you like to go ahead, and then I'll add it?
Hello, Aman. Yeah, you can take this up.
So this is the question by Vyas, right? So I'm having a.
This from Venkata.
Venkata, can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, sure. How can we cope with transforming career from a legacy application developer to blockchain consultant?
Okay, so like I have answered in the previous section as well. Like we are not really covering the technological aspect because it's a study in itself and it takes a longer duration of time, and you need to have a prerequisite. So if you already have an understanding of conventional technologies and a conventional software developer, and you're moving towards a consulting space, that's a very lucrative space. But since we in this module we are also covering sorry, in this cohort we cover towards the business requirements what an industry could have, and then you would be able to prepare a synopsis or a consulting framework for the organization. So it's very interesting, and we would be able.
Aman, you went on mute. Hello. Hello. Okay. I guess there's some technical glitch out here. Let me check. Aman, you went on mute. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. You went on mute in between.
Okay, so like I said, we talk about decentralized apps and application, and your technological experience would help. And there is no straight line to actually shift your career from a conventional coder to a consulting space, because it requires the prerequisites of the business side of it, and the essentials are being covered in this cohort. We equip you to prepare the BRDs and the proposals so that you would be able to have the conversation with the organization after you have leveraged your understanding on this subject called distributed ledger technology. So there are opportunities which will open up, and you will get equipped with various other materials. But the answer to your question, I do not really have the concrete answer for that, but there are opportunities to actually shift your career. And with this course, it will act as a catalyst to move ahead.
Great. Guys, if you need any further clarity on your questions, I mean, we'll be taking up questions for the next 5 minutes during the time that we've already passed, like 8:30. So let's take our question for next 5 minutes. Any questions that you have more, I would request you to please post them in the discussion forum. Like I said, let's start making use of the discussion forum so that, we start getting familiarized with the platform here. Yeah, with that, let's say go on to Vyas' question, which is, hello, I can understand there is no coding in this course, but will we have an overview of any developer skills required to be a blockchain expert?
I think, Sankalp, we have already answered this question, but yes,
yeah.
not covering any specific coding required skills that are required to be successful in this domain. We are not covering any of those aspects right now.
So kindly give us a quick walkthrough about the discussion forum. Vikas, sure, after this, after the Q&A section, I'll just quickly do a walkthrough of that. Yeah. With that, we have a question from Gursimran. Hi guys, are we going to be working on both public and private blockchain development? Are we going to be covering the Ethereum blockchain in detail?
Yeah, Sankalp, I'll take this, and even Aman can take this. So here, what we are doing is, yes, good Simran, we are covering both platforms. From a public perspective, we are covering Ethereum, and from a private permission blockchain perspective, we are covering Hyperledger. So there is a module wherein we are covering both these platforms in sufficient depth. So you will have an exposure to these platforms. So you'll understand how these platforms work and what are their where can they be used actually in the industry? Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
So just to add on to it, sorry, you would understand the components of both public and private blockchain. However, again, coming back to your question, there would be no development angle to it, and we are just equipping you towards taking a business and a strategic discussion or a decision towards your enterprise.
Awesome, thank you so much, Aman and Srijit. Moving on to Abhishek's question, will we be learning how to code a blockchain, and what is the it is given for technical content for this course? Did we answer this as well, or?
I think it has been already covered. See, guys, this course, if you look at it, I'll just reiterate on the learning outcomes and takeaways you would have. So you would develop a sound understanding how you can use blockchain in enterprise from a consulting point of view. From a business which is non-tech, you would understand the technical platforms, but you will not be able to develop and code for it. So we help you propose a business blockchain solution to address the business problem, not a business problem in a comprehensive manner where technology component is there. So you would be able to lead a team of you would be able to lead a team of technology, but however, you would still require a CTO who can guide them to work on different technology stack and principles.
Cool. Thank you so much. We'll move on to the other question, which is from Nikhil, which is how will this course help specifically in solution architect role?
Yeah, Sankalp. So in this case, Nikhil, good question. So teaching you is exactly kind of what you would be doing in a solution architect role. So if I have to understand the responsibilities that a solution architect will have in the blockchain domain, it is basically how to architect blockchain solutions. Another point will be to work effectively with a team of engineers and technical leaders. And another one would be how to understand where blockchain system would work in that particular use case, right? So this is exactly what we are teaching you in this particular course, and it should help you work as a solution architect and as a blockchain consultant going forward. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for that, Sriya. With that, we move on. So we have three questions coming in. One is from Vikas, which is, do we see use of blockchain technology in social banking, like direct benefit transfer to poor?
I think Aman will be the best person to answer this.
Yes, great, fantastic. So this this application we are developing for one of the governments, I would not be able to disclose until unless we are out of the stealth mode. So yes, we would cover the how funds move from the financial services point of view. We would cover the remittance, and in this you would have the insights towards a direct benefit transfer, which is an initiative by the government. So like I said in the beginning, we covered from the perspective of the government point of view as well, and we look financial and financial industry and the governance applications very closely. So we will not exactly cover, but you would have sufficient insights to look at this problem and how this problem can be addressed using a blockchain. It's a very interesting question, by the way.
Thank you so much for that. Another question for you, Aman. Hi, Aman. With the kind of exposure that you have in the industry, could you please suggest if the IT service giants in the country like IBM, Infosys, etc., are working in the blockchain domain?
Yes, so it's if I'm not wrong, it's 5 years to blockchain, specifically from the Ethereum white paper, which has been written in 2015. So a lot of industries have started working. IBM is definitely a leader in this space, and most of the Indian companies have started to look at various other industries and how public and private blockchain can have the business viability. And from an enterprise point of view, public blockchain not really work. We'll cover that in the session. So yes, I have a lot of visibility, and I have a lot of an understanding of the projects which these organizations are working on. And if you type on IBM blockchain, you would get a lot of use cases list, and which we will also cover in detail during these modules as well.
With that, I'm pretty sure you guys must have seen the email coming in from me on this weekend session. So we have one of the guys from IBM taking up the session, which is Shevin Chon. So with that, we also ended the Q&A section, and we have kind of taken you through the entire experience that was that has been curated for you. With that, I'll just quickly do one walkthrough for everyone here on just a minute. On the learning on the learn.upgrad platform, so that everyone is well aware and familiarized with how do you actually need to get into this the platform. Yeah, cool. So let me just share my
Sankalp, do you need us to be part of this?
Yeah, if you could just be a part of it and just wait for the 5 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure. Sounds good.
Thank you. Because if there are any questions coming in, you guys would be the right person to take it up.
Correct. Agreed. Sure.
Okay, so cool. So this is how you would be seeing your screen. Okay, we will be having so what you need to do is when you log in, you need to have this blockchain technology management March 2020 needs to be written out here, so that you've logged into the right platform or the program. And once, if you think that you've logged into the wrong platform, what you need to do is you need to go here, click on switch programs, and From here, once you click on switch program, you will see a number of programs that you have been enrolled into. It should be only a blockchain technology management, which is March 2020, and then you need to just click on that. Yeah. If you don't see blockchain technology March 2020 out here, just let me know. I will get you enrolled here. That's how the program, the platform looks. Okay, that's about how you need to continue your learning about where you left, or you call it resume your learning. Your progress is something that will be shown here. The batch progress, about how is the batch doing, would be shown here. Now your progress and batch progress, I'll just get into once I get into the program bit. But here is what we'll see: the people who are recently online, the forums this week, which is the discussion forum. How many questions have been put up? How many people have actively started participating in the forum? That's something. And guys, don't miss out on this, because this accounts for 10% of the total weightage of the program, which is class participation. So don't miss out on it. Now, if you don't want to resume it, and you kind of want to go back to the program and see about what all things are there, so as of now we only have one module that has been released for you. Okay, which means once you click on welcome to the program, that's how you will see it. So this is just to go back. This is called a module, just familiarizing you with the jargon. This is called a module. Once you enter into it, this is a session that we have, okay, which is session 1. This is session 2. Under session, these are segments that we have. Okay. Now, once you start completing these things, they would only get unlocked once you have finished one segment, the second segment, the third segment, the fourth segment, and as you move on. Okay. So it's in a very structured and a constructive way that these will be getting unlocked, so that you don't so that we don't want you to kind of jump into one thing to another, and hence these would be unlocked as we get as you guys slowly move. With that, session 2 would also be the same. They would only be unlocked after session 1 you have completed session 1 completely. Yeah, just to go back, so one thing is that you need to know is there would be a due date. Okay, so this module, if you guys have not completed it, and so if there would be a due date for it, which is 31st March. If anything, that is, so this module was not graded, and hence there won't be any penalty for you. But if this was graded, okay, and you hadn't completed it, you would be penalized with 30%. I'm sharing a student manual as well with you after this after the webinar is done, and just go to the policies that we have, okay, on the student manual. It will help you, tell you about a lot of things that are there with respect to the policies and other details that we have for this program. Yeah. Now here we have something called as the estimated time that you have to complete this particular module, so that you can plan accordingly. Remember, I was telling you about how do you need to go about planning. Always see how much is the estimated time. Always take 2 hours above the estimated time, knowing, or just know yourself better in this case, and then accordingly plan. Yeah. If there are any submissions out here, they would be written as 1 submissions, 2 submissions, or 2-3 submissions, whatever it is. Okay. A quick description about what this module tells you, and once you pretty much know about what this module is being told to you, you can probably start working on it. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll quickly just move on to help you with the other platform. Okay. Other program. In fact, I'll just log into the December platform that we have. Okay. So that's how it looks like. So here are the courses: course 1, course 2, course 3. Okay, you move on. That's how these will be unlocked for you. So once we have this, so we go to introduction, then we have the recording of the class out here. Okay, which is here. We'll be having the PPT out here, so you can download the PPT and keep it with you. Then we move on to the practice questions. So remember the practice questions that I was telling you. Features of enterprise blockchain. Can you name at least 2 leading blockchain companies in India and 2 abroad? So the kind of questions that will be there out here. Apart from that, one more important thing. So anything that is graded accounts for your the marks that you'll be scoring in the program. Okay, so anything that is graded would be followed by this, these questions are graded, and you need to attend these questions, as these will be accounted for the weightage of the program and the marks that you scored. Remember, we just spoke about the 10% weightage that the quizzes that they hold. Yeah. uh, that's pretty much about it. Once you get into the program, you will get more familiarized with these things. Here's the discussion forum that we have. There are questions that have been posted up here by our learners, and once so remember the tick mark that I was telling you, that if this question is verified, it will tell you that it has been verified by the TA. Then go, let's move on to, okay, sorry, okay, my laptop got hanged. Cool. So that's about any question, any submissions that are coming in. So the only calendar that you will see over here, only any assignments that are coming in. Okay, and there would all the other things which are there on the live session bit would be given to you on a calendar which I'll be sharing. Like I shared a student a calendar invite, right, for this session. I would be sharing a calendar invite just like that for the other sessions that we'll be planning. So that's pretty much about it. There is a notification bar out here. There's a drop down from here. It's pretty much plays the same thing in the on the app that we have. So the app link I would also be sharing with you. With that, we have also come into the end of the session, and thank you so much, guys, for being. Any question? Okay, before I actually conclude the session, any questions on the Learn.upGrad platform that we have? Can take it up for another 2 minutes, or you guys can post it in the okay. There's a question from Rishikesh. It seems like the student manual is required to complete the first module. So Rishikesh, the student man. Okay, I'll just go to Rishikesh's question as well. I'm sorry, Rishikesh. Thank you so much for kind of giving me a heads up on that. So it seems like the student manual was required to complete first module. I attempted many questions and had to guess answers as those were not covered in the video. So I'm guessing there was a student manual, hoping that in future proper content is provided, covered a proper content covered or provided before the completion date. So Rishikesh, I'm not sure if why didn't you find the student manual in the module itself, because it's there in the module. You have to download it. If you haven't received it, I'll share it with you. The second question: do not see the schedule in the calendar? When will it be available? So one is I would be sharing. Calendar invites with you. Secondly, I would be sharing the details with you on WhatsApp or emails. The fourth thing would be the calendar, student calendar has already been shared with you. So just refer to that. Is there a mobile app as well which we can use for the course, or we just need to use the desktop website? There is a mobile app as well. You can use it for your convenience, so that whenever you're traveling, you can actually make use of that for watching videos. So I would be sharing the link as well for the mobile app. Yeah. Now the other thing, which is more module 1 session 2 video 2, where can I find the student support tab? I see only home, program, and discussion tab. So these are the only 3 tabs that we have. There is no student support tab that we have. There is a discussion tab, that is a student tab that we have, support tab that we have for all the queries related to your academic queries. Yeah. With that, is the WhatsApp group created? If yes, please add me. There's no WhatsApp group that has been created yet, and this would be created by tomorrow. The WhatsApp group would only be a notification group for you guys. There won't be any messages that you can put up. Only the admin would be able to put up a message in the WhatsApp. Career services need to opt for it. Are these paid services outside the program? I'm pretty sure you must have got a hang on what the career services are from upGrad. These are not paid services, and all this is included in the fee that you guys have actually paid. So that's pretty much about it, and I hope I've answered your question. Any queries that you have, feel free to drop me a message on that part. I'm more available on WhatsApp. So I'm really sorry guys if I've not taken up your queries in the last couple of days. Wednesdays and Thursdays being my week off, there would be a slight delay in responding to your messages, but in this case just WhatsApp me and I should be able to answer your query on that. Yeah, with that, thank you so much guys for being available for a session on a working day. For some people and for the others, I'm pretty sure it's a working day. So thank you so much guys for being available, and it was a pleasure hosting the session for you one. And I wish you all the best in the journey with upGrad and IIT Ghaziabad. And feel free to reach out to me, like I said. And guys, and thank you so much, Srijit and Professor Aman, for being available for this session. Yeah. With that, thank you and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much.
everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye.